Good morning, everyone. This is Erika with Aurora Heart Healing, and I am here today to help all of you understand depression a little bit more. Because I have been really working with a lot of people that suffer from depression, that we clear the energy and then they start to feel things, and sometimes they're feeling a little overwhelmed, or the energy is very resistant to be able to feel the shifts and the changes because they have been resistant for a long time to feel their feelings. What I have learned through my time working with depression, working with people, is that depression is the suppression of emotion. Not allowing ourselves to feel emotions is what causes depression within us. And a lot of the people that I work with, oh, I wish I had my chart right now. A lot of people that I work with, I have noticed how much depression actually affects them. So if you take a look at this chart, depression is that blue right there. So if you feel depressed, it is pushing down all of the emotion that you feel. Think of the way that I like to think of it, the way that I explain energy work to clients or people that are new to this, is I say, when you think about a pressure cooker, so you're putting all of these different emotions in this pressure cooker, which is our body, and we are just allowing everything to just cook. Everything's sitting in there and it's starting to really boil. And if we're not letting the valve release some of that pressure, which is experience after experience after experience that is being suppressed, we will explode. And depression is more of like an implosion where we completely shut down our energetic system because we need to be numb so that we cannot feel all of the things that are coming up for us. And depression shows up in so many different ways. People that midlife crises, I was listening to a podcast from Mel Robbins, and they were talking about how when someone has not dealt with underlying issues, then they usually tend to have a midlife crisis because they are lacking in their identity. And our identity is really wrapped up in the way that we feel about ourselves and the way that we navigate the world around us too. And it shows up in so many different ways. People that can't get out of bed. I know that for me, that was something that was really hard for me to do, was to get out of bed every morning. I didn't want to do it because it was hard and it felt taxing. Also, feeling like everything is hard in life could be a huge sign of depression. Getting out of bed, brushing your teeth, not wanting to shower, not wanting to hang out with your kids, wanting to be on the phone a lot, that can also be a huge indicator of depression because the outside world is overloading your sensory system, and there's so much in the sensory system already that you cannot handle anything else. So take that for what it is and take what does resonate, leave what does not. But if you or someone you know has ever experienced depression and you know, hey, this person is really just down, they're very negative right now, nothing that we can do makes them feel happy, just first of all, take a step back and know that it's nothing to do with you and everything to do with the way that they're experiencing their own lives. And it can be very difficult when you love someone and you want them to be healthy and happy, and you're seeing them struggle and suffer so much. But also know that that person has a choice to change. And today I want to help people know a little bit more about how depression is showing up in their lives and how to release those energies from your nervous system, from your body, so that you're not constantly feeling like you're gritting your teeth through everything. You're actually being able to progress and move forward without all of that dense energy within you. So the first thing that I would like to say is, like I said, depression is like a pressure cooker that is going to explode. So one of the practices that I do that is super helpful for people is sit in your own body for just a moment. Maybe rub your hands together just to warm them up, just to feel first physical feeling will help out. And just feel the warmth between your hands. Some people that suffer from depression, they actually self-harm, and it's because they haven't felt emotion for so long that they want to feel some type of physical sensation at all. So warming up your hands and just allowing yourself to just feel that. And sometimes it feels a little tingly, sometimes it feels a little warm. Perfect. Next, rubbing your body. Just rubbing your own body, because the only person that can comfort you through things is you. Ultimately, if you have a healthy and happy relationship that both of you understand that there is this commitment to each other, then the other person can comfort you, but ultimately they're providing presence, but you need to be able to comfort yourself through those challenging times. So just rubbing your shoulders, kind of like giving yourself a big hug, can help activate some of your heart center, can help bring out a little bit of joy, a little bit of happiness, and it can bring out some sensations. And just notice what it feels like to just kind of hug yourself. You're activating your own magnetic field through this. You are allowing yourself to connect to yourself in a deeper, more intimate way. It's like being hugged by someone else. When you're hugged by someone else, it feels warm and cuddly and good for the most part. And for that, that's that activation of your senses. You're starting to move the energy around. Also, you can do some movement, which hopefully I'll be able to. I like to flow. When things are very hard for me, I like to just feel like I flow and like my hands are moving through the air. And this also helps with just activating your own body, your own energy field. I like to play with it. If you were ever a raver, I used to be one. I used to do liquid dancing. And I like to just move around because it's actually helping activate that bodily functioning and move things around. Sometimes if you are very resistant to movement, it's because of that depression in the body that says anything that I do right now is going to overwhelm me. So just noticing that, becoming aware of that. Okay, now activating your heart center. This is more of the emotional piece, okay? So you can take nice deep breaths in through your nose and imagine that it's going into your heart, and breathe out through your diaphragm. And if you feel, some people feel pain in their heart. And I know that for me, I actually used to feel physical pain in my heart, in my chest all the time. And that was a surefire sign of depression in my case. And of course, take what resonates, leave what does not. But that pain in your chest, that physical pain, can actually be a wide range of things. For me, I had a lot of energies trapped in my fascia around my heart. And my friend, she did energy work on me, and that was the first person that I ever experienced that fascia release. But my heart started to feel different. And when we start to recognize what it is that we're feeling, then you're able to really understand, like, oh, okay, this isn't just physical pain, it's actually emotional pain too. And again, you can find the emotion code chart on the internet. Dr. Bradley Nelson. I use the emotion code chart, but I also use Barbara Ann Brennan. She's got the Atlas of the Heart, which gives such beautiful, detailed descriptions of the emotions that she has researched and knows how they affect our reality. I also have definitions of emotions, which these were actually provided by a three-dimensional therapy that I am certified in. And this is to help release limiting beliefs in the mind and the body that are ingrained or imprinted from either birth, from generations back. So with all of these emotions, we get to understand a little bit more. So as you connect to your heart center, breathing in and out through your heart and out through your diaphragm, you can take a look at the emotion code chart. And as you look at the chart, if you feel any physical sensations, it's okay if you do not feel anything at all. Think of the word numb when you think of that. If you feel nothing, think numb. Numb. Am I numb? Am I numb? And as you ask yourself that, am I numb? You might activate some actual energies or emotions to come forward and say, actually, I am numb. And as you just ask, it might rise up a little bit, and don't shy away from that. And when I say don't shy away from it, say, oh, I don't want to feel that, or that's uncomfortable. Just be curious about it. Oh, that is a different sensation I hadn't noticed before. I hadn't noticed that before. And that way, it's not going to push that energy back into seclusion and saying, oh, I can't feel this. It's going to invite the energy to be okay, to be experienced, bringing it to the curiosity state of, whoa, what is that? When I'm going through it or having a rough time, some days are way better than others. I think to myself, what is this feeling? What is the sensation I'm having in my body? What is this? I've been having a lot more activations in my energy field, which basically means I am being supercharged. And I can tell, I can feel it. Some days when I go to the gym, it is actually like I can go for a lot longer, but I don't want to leave my kids alone for long. So it's been really interesting. And as you're charging yourself, you're actually bringing in the ability for more into your body. So notice what you feel. And numb is not on the emotion code chart. That is one of the reasons why I have done so much research in different aspects to be able to bring this information to you, because we have way more emotions than we even realize. We actually have emotions that other languages can portray much better than we can. We are a baby country. English is a baby language. And not saying it's a bad thing, not saying it's a good thing, but I am saying there are some tools that other cultures that have had a lot longer longevity in their history are able to portray much deeper. Okay, so again, now I'm going to stop talking and I'm going to just get into that meditation portion, okay? Breathing in through your heart, feeling your chest rise all the way up to the top. Imagine that your lungs are being filled all the way up to the top. And then releasing all the way down to the bottom. Imagine that you are completely deflating all of your lungs. You're cleansing them out. You're clearing everything out of your lungs. And do this about 3 times. You can do 5 if you need to. Everything is completely up to you. I kind of like to put my hands into it to bring that physical sense in as well, because so many people, a lot of masculine energy need that movement. Okay. Now we're going to think of the emotion depression. 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 You might feel some sensations in your heart. And as you go through your heart, maybe think, is this related to sadness? And if you feel a little bit of a almost uplifting feeling when you say that, it's your subconscious communicating with your conscious saying, yes, you are understanding where I'm coming from. So is this depression related to sadness? Okay. Is this depression related to heartache? You'll start to feel a little bit of movement. Heartache for me kind of generates on my left-hand side. And it's interesting because some people have heart attack and stroke. And I always wonder if it were the fact that they could identify how they felt, if they didn't have to severely have such a physical reaction to where their heart is like, I'm done being broken and no one's listened to me. So heartache, is this depression related to heartache? Breathing into it, breathing out through your diaphragm, remembering to fill all the way in and let it all the way out. Okay. And now you can ask, if you're not feeling any sensations, is this depression related to feeling numb? Is this depression related to feeling numb? And it's been a long time for me since I've felt numb because I used to. So for me, I experience the wide range of emotions on a constant basis. For those of you that feel numb, as you ask yourself, does this depression relate to feeling numb? Move your hands around. Rub your shoulders. Hug yourself. Give yourself validation, maybe even just moving on your chest, that you are physically here, bringing your spirit back into your body. Because a lot of people that are numb, their spirits are hanging out here. That's actually an emotion, and this is a body code energy that is a spirit to physical body disconnection, which that has been something I've worked with a lot of people in, where their spirit wants to run away because they feel like the physical world is too hard. You see a lot of suicide, a rise in suicide. Those kind of are some of those indicators that your spirit has detached itself from your body and is saying, this is too much, I can't. But as we continue to activate ourselves, we're able to bring our spirit back into the physical realm and help us feel again. Feeling is healing. And yes, Sometimes the feeling hurts, but you're actually hurting others when you're not allowing yourself to feel. And I don't think any of you really want to hurt others. I think that hurt people. And bringing that sensation back into our bodies will help us not hurt and harm, not just ourselves, but others as well. Okay, if you start to feel any sensations, then know that it is working, that you are actually moving forward out of that depressive state. Be kind to yourself. If you start to feel like you're feeling overwhelmed, name it. I feel a little overwhelmed right now. Why am I feeling a little overwhelmed? What is it that caused this overwhelm? Is it because my body's feeling things that it hasn't for a long time? Being curious about it and just saying, I accept this. Awesome. I'm feeling. I am feeling. And that will be very helpful to help alleviate some of those numb feelings, those feelings that you want to be detached from your body and it's too hard to be connected into your physical body. So take your time. This is a practice that you want to continuously do, but do it gently to yourself. Maybe once a day. If you want better results, once in the morning and once at night. Check in with yourself every day. What experiences did I feel today? Yesterday, I went to a business meeting and I felt drained. I felt a little overwhelmed. I was signing papers that I didn't really want to sign, but I've resigned myself and I'm just like, you know what? I need to value who I am. And I said, okay, so there was a deep sense of sadness, but also resignation. And as I continue my days, I feel a sense of empowerment because I'm doing things for what I believe in. And I feel very fulfilled in every day since I've been posting videos for all of you, because this is what I want to do with my life. I feel empowered. I feel joyful. I feel fulfilled and I feel passionate because I know that whoever is listening to this message, it can help you or your loved one. And I feel empowered. And by the end of the day, yesterday, I knew I felt overwhelmed at some point. I knew I felt sadness at some point. I knew I felt empowered. I felt inspired. One of my clients came in and she was talking to me and she said, our work that we did on confidence completely shifted everything for me. And I just did this the other day. We did a session a week ago on Saturday. And she said that her whole entire demeanor has changed and shifted from that session. And in that, I thought, wow, how empowering. That's beautiful. How inspirational. And she said, you need to take credit for this because this was you. And I said, no, this is you. But I felt in a moment, I said, you know what? You're right. The knowledge that I have obtained over the years is how I'm able to access this emotion, these emotions, these energies. And thank you for being so willing to work through this with me and change. Because ultimately, it is you that has the choice to change. No one else can make you change. No one else can. People can point out the behaviors and the patterns and the lack of communication, whatever it is that is coming up as a struggle or a challenge, or some people might say your mental health issues. I just see it as what God wants us to heal. is being reflected back at us. And it's up to us to figure out if we want to do it or not. Do I want to move, change, shift? Do I want to live differently? And we get to choose from there. So I hope that that small practice helped a little bit. Please leave in the comments below if you felt any physical sensations, any type of emotions that came up. This will really help me navigate and make more videos that help with the underlying causes, because unless we're in a one-to-one session, I can't really get all the way down deep into the root cause of why you feel numb. It could be generational or depressed. Generational means your dad couldn't get out of bed for a month and you experienced that, and then you had to numb yourself because you couldn't deal with the fact that this person that was your caretaker was not present, or your mom had to numb off herself because she needed to take care of everything while dad was depressed, or vice versa. I know that my mom, in a lot of ways, she wasn't able to be emotionally present because she was constantly in survival mode. And I lived like that too. I was in so much survival mode, working 2 jobs, sometimes 3, that I wasn't able to be fully present for my children until later on in life, when I was like, I'm done. I have to change something. And as I've said before, I was diagnosed with pre-conditioned fibromyalgia. And in that time, my feet hurt. They were achy. They felt like nails were coming up out of into my feet every day. And as I continued doing the energy work, now I see our physical body will tell us what our emotional body needs to say. And when it wants to be heard, it's going to be heard in one way or another. So pay attention. Love your spirit, love your body, love yourself. Just give yourself a hug sometimes. Another thing that I did was ground. After I had the rough time, my friend said, I want you to have a picture in nature. I want you to go and take a picture with nature. And I took a picture of me laying down, and there was the trees above me, and you could see the rays of light coming through the trees, and the rays of light were actually washing over me. And I laid there and I just breathed. I just felt so peaceful and calm. And then after I went to the gym, or when I was driving to the gym, I watched the sunset and I watched the beautiful pink and purple and bluest hues just washing over the mountains. And I just thought to myself, wow, what a blessing this is to be present in this moment, to appreciate not just who I am, but what beauty there is around me. And when we are numb or depressed, we don't have that ability to appreciate those things as deeply, because any emotion is overwhelming, even joy. So take this time today to take care of you. Practice emotions. If you're not feeling any physical sensations, check in with yourself. Am I depressed or am I numb? And if you feel like you don't sense anything, try moving your body. Make yourself some energy balls and play with them. And it might sound silly or feel weird in the beginning. That's okay. Do it by yourself. Do it in your bathroom. Do it in the shower. Feel that energy start to shift and move as you bring in, if your emotional body is numb, then you bring in your physical body to help compensate for that emotional part of you. I hope this helps. I hope that you like, share, and subscribe. please let your friends know about this. If you see someone that is struggling with mental health issues, send them my way, send them to my channel, because these things are important. And I will say, I tried to call 5 different therapists in my area for my divorce, just to get into someone to talk to them so I wasn't emotionally vomiting all over my friends. And not one of them have called me back. And I'm not trying to bag on the therapy and therapists and the system, but the system is broken. We need to remember that we are not just these physical bodies, but we are emotional, spiritual beings. And we need connecting. We need to connect our spirit, our mind, and our body. Our souls have been longing for this for a long time, and I see a huge shift towards connecting to our spirits. So I hope that you send this to people that need to connect to their spirits, that need to connect to that deep sense of who they are and what they have inside of them, because it is beautiful. You may not feel it right now, but as we uncover those layers and we open up your heart and your mind, you will see a whole different world from where you are. You can appreciate the hard times as well as the good times. And you can know that you can't really have one without the other, because no matter what, there's going to be some type of struggle in your life. But as you build that emotional resilience, that emotional awareness of what's going on in your body and in your system, then you're able to handle tough times and challenges with ease. I love you all. You are all worthy. You are all brave. You're all strong. You inspire me to continue to do this every single day. Thank you. Thank you for helping me fulfill my passion by listening. Have a wonderful day.